Welcome in, everyone. We are back here with the TWIF crew for another Best Ball Mania draft. I am Turner Niley, joined again by David Krupski. Win another $2 million.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So before we get into it, anything you want to touch on? I know there's been some rumblings with Puka and Jacobs. We've got Chuba potentially being hurt. What's got your goat?
So I'd say just, recording this, Thursday morning, your time. And obviously, Chuba Hubbard was announced being week to week by Dave Canales. What is also kind of interesting is that Jonathan Brooks is supposed to play a lot in the with that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the hype has already been pretty strong for Jonathan Brooks, and it's about to get out of control.
Correct. I mean, it's just going to get steamed. And I mean, look, the guy, he hasn't played much in 2 years. So,
yeah,
I mean, he's kind of an unknown. I mean, he's more talented than Marshawn Lloyd with Green Bay. But, I mean, you're talking about two guys that have just been injured a lot and haven't really played a whole lot. And they're going to be, they're going to be playing this year. Obviously, Brooks a lot more in this case with Chuba Hubbard, with his injury issue. So something to watch as we get closer to draft season and, people's home leagues. It will get interesting to see how many people are paying attention and how much he'll get steamed up. For those that are doing, high stakes stuff, I think you're going to see him really get steamed up.
Oh, yeah, big time. Yeah, you mentioned Marshawn Lloyd. He's someone as I'm building to the ADP Movers show this week, he's someone that is climbing now as well. Seems like positive reports coming out of camp. And, there's obviously the concerns about Jacobs. He was banged up last year, obviously domestic violence, potential allegations here. So do you have any thoughts on Lloyd? Like he was kind of, to me, very interesting coming out of the draft. But like you mentioned, dude just has been made of glass.
I mean, does he have two good hamstrings? I mean, that would be my question. I don't know.
He's not allowed to have two healthy at the same time.
I wish the guy well. He just can't stay healthy, right? And is somebody injury prone? I know a lot of analysts go back and forth on what injury prone really means, but I mean, if the guy can't stay healthy, if he's not taking care of his body, then yes, he's going to be susceptible to more injuries. So, yeah, I mean, if he's going to get a suspension, I mean, I would say it's likely. So we'll see what happens with that. And then Schefter also threw out a bomb about Puka as well. And so, it hasn't for me or anyone else, really. The fact that I think, a couple of the ranks that I've seen had Puka above Chase in PPR. And, and I think coin flip there, I would take Chase over Puka now. But I wouldn't move Puka down personally any further as of now, because even if it's one game, he doesn't go to Australia, and then he's back for week 2. I mean, he did some goofy things off season, in the off season, just said some silly things, and
stupid.
He didn't make himself look good. And the NFL cares about PR, right? I mean, that's you go all the way back to all these different suspensions. So I think I would say we'll see what happens with the suspensions, but it does seem like, from what Schefter said, that it's going to happen sooner rather than later. So this shouldn't drag into the regular season without us knowing something.
Yeah, great. Yeah, it's obviously a little nerve-wracking beyond the fact that Puka. I mean, he gets injured quite a bit too, and so I'm with you. Like, to me, I've been Chase, like, for me, undisputed number 1 wide receiver. People have been making the case for Puka. Obviously, his points per game were incredible, and as was JSN. But obviously Burrow was hurt. So if we're projecting Burrow to play a full season like he does every other year, then I feel like Chase is back to his potential 20 points a game, and he's lights out. So yeah, good stuff, Dave. David, let's ready to get into this draft and see what we get here. I guess maybe we're going to get 11 this time. We've been 9, 10. Let's see where we go with this draft here.
Let's do it.
get everything all situated here. We are at the 9 hole again.
Is what it is.
Yeah.
It's all right.
All right. So yeah, last time we did the double RB, so maybe we'll change it up for this guy. Yeah, I guess we are waiting here for the clock to seconds. And 3, 2, 1, and it is game on. All right, no surprise here. Jahmyr Gibbs off the clock. And there goes Bijan. Obviously, both getting well paid. Gibbs getting that $500,000 more.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, those two guys can go interchangeably. I know Gibbs, goes first more than others. But I was in a draft actually this morning, and I actually took Bijan 1 just because I was just too heavy on Gibbs. I actually just randomly was getting too much of the 101.
Wow, aren't you fancy?
I mean, hey, listen, 15% Gibbs is fine, but I mean, 6%, and I thought that was too low.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's definitely a significant upside for Bijan as well. It's just hard to discount that offense with situation for Lions and just really putting that as kind of the differentiator for Gibbs. All right, we're up here in 2. Let me bring up the players. All right. We're going to be faced with probably Taylor again. Amon-Ra. Oop, there goes Taylor. And there goes Amon-Ra. We're Lamb, Cook, and Jefferson. I feel like I'm leaning Cook a little bit here.
If
but
you want to go, I'm look good with Cook. Good with Lamb. I'm good with either one of those guys. I mean, I would interchangeably with Best Ball from time to time to switch it up a bit.
Oop, and we're gonna go with CD Lamb.
Perfect.
Yeah, I haven't taken a lot of him. So
the one thing about going, I just say the one thing going with wide receiver there is then we're going to be able to grab one of these running backs.
Exactly, that's my thought too. Like you got.
Whereas if you go running back here,
yeah,
you pretty much then have to go running back again unless you're reaching for AJ Brown, and I don't think AJ Brown's really a 16th pick kind of guy.
Yeah. Who you? Okay, Brown, Hampton. All right, so Brown's off. I'm either Hampton or Achane for me. Are you a Henry guy? Who are you thinking here?
I mean, Hampton. The coach speak isn't great. Achane, the team's going to be terrible. I mean, I'm good with Hampton. I kind of switched up to a little bit of Hampton, a little bit of Henry. Probably a little underweight on Hampton, to be honest, overall. But he's still a solid pick.
Yeah, I've been big on Hampton. I love the talent. When he was healthy and the offensive line was healthy as well, he was great. Mm-hmm. I mean, he obviously came back last year. It was all right. The Mike McDaniel talk is obviously like putting so much steam behind the Chargers offense in general. I know there's people that like Keaton and even Vidal. And I just feel like Hampton is an echelon above in the talent wise, obviously from a draft capital perspective. So I'm definitely one that's probably overweight on Hampton. So I love this pick. And yeah, let's see how he performs this year and see if he can have a Mostert type season.
I would say very possible. It's hard to say with McDaniel, right? Because last year he gave Achane all the carries. Well, that's probably because he didn't have a Mostert on the team who was as talented, right? I think this is part of it. Mitchell, he's polarizing. If you ask Davis Maddock, he loves Mitchell, and I mean, I won't lie.
He's a darling.
I've got an option there. The running back position is chaotic, and these guys luckily haven't been getting hurt that much the last 2 years. But that really goes against the statistics of this position and the chances of them getting injured. I mean, this could be the year where it's absolute chaos at the running back position, and we've got guys like Keaton Mitchell or someone else that's going to take the lead in that backfield when somebody's down for a few weeks, a month, a year. And so I think we could see people that like Keaton, since we're talking about San Diego, who really could benefit from that chaotic change that is the injury system, the injuries that occur in the NFL.
Yep, for sure. All right, we're getting close to our pick. We're a pick away. Egbuka on the board. Definitely love him if he falls. Kyron, I do like as well. Javonte, I like too. McConkey, Higgins, solid choices. Actually pretty high on Waddle myself too.
I would take probably Waddle. I know we already have Hampton. Fine with the double there, but I mean, I would probably prefer Waddle over because he's the one, whereas Higgins is the two.
I'm with you. Yeah, he's someone I've definitely been growing on and raising up my rankings as well. I think one seems a bit undervalued. I mean, obviously here in Underdog, he's going high, but home leagues, he's still depressed a bit. And so he's someone I feel great having as a wide receiver too, with the upside that he can bring if he returns to form, when he was on the Dolphins and pre-Tyreek Hill and what he brought to the table there. All right, let's look again here. Allen's on the board, Garrett Wilson, Jacobs. What are you thinking here?
Allen's interesting. I mean, falling that far, I'd stay away from Jacobs now with the news of the possible suspension. I don't think he's worth it.
Yeah, let's take Mr. Consistency. We got him in our last draft as well. I mean, 4th round, to me, that's amazing. Really stoked about that.
I think we took Allen in another draft, did we not?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. So we are at 66% ownership on our recorded drafts here. But yeah, he's
it's all good.
Yeah, I mean, again, I think we mentioned this last time, 6 straight seasons as QB1 or 2, 39 combined touchdowns. I don't see that changing and potentially, spiking back up to his massive seasons with DJ Moore, if we believe DJ Moore can bounce back.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matt Harmon was on a podcast and video that I was watching, and they were talking about how DJ Moore isn't the tightest route runner. He's more of a go deep, kind of like the old Ben Roethlisberger to Antonio Brown at the end of their careers, and just go deep. I'll find you. And so I think DJ Moore might really work out there, where he'll find a way to get open if you're not running the tightest route.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. A lot of running backs coming out. There goes DeAndre Swift. He's been climbing as well. Parker Washington. Wow. He's another darling who's getting all the steam these days. I've yet to really be able to pull the trigger, but I can't really struggle to take him over someone like Devontae Adams or even Christian Watson.
I mean, the thing with Adams, though, how much more does he have left? He's been definitely a steady decline. Just how much more does he have left? If you look at the tape, I'm not a tape bro by any means.
Yeah.
So this is from others. Matt Harmon and a few others have been talking about this. Definitely.
Yeah, I know. Last year, I mean, there's some room for improvement. Like his efficiency between 20s was terrible last year. Like his catchable ball rate and was bad. Obviously, no one can expect that touchdown heat that he had last year. That was crazy. So if you regress the touchdown and maybe get some positive momentum between the 20s, it becomes more interesting. But yeah, it's all right. We can get DJ Moore here if we want to stack Christian Watson, Endo. Stack it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, phew. Do it. All right. Moore is on the table. And we're going to come back around really quick. I just
Yeah.
got to remember that. Ooh, Jordan Tyson. I like that. Tyler Warren, I really like. I think those are the two. Obviously, if Watson comes back, I'd be interested. Any of those three.
Warren's interesting too. I mean, Warren, I know that's, obviously there he goes, but, Underdog is not tight end premium, but, it's half point PPR, but it's still is an interesting guy to consider.
Watson's here. I got to take him.
Go for it.
All right. So I'm loving this receiver room right now. So we've got Lamb, Waddle, Moore, and Watson in our receiving room. We got the QB1 and Josh Allen. And then obviously a little light here on running back. We've got Amari and Hampton. Roll this down here. So yeah,
give me 1 second. I take care of something real quick. Hold on.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we are waiting to come back here and look at our running back options because we're gonna have to hit that hard. Looking at these running back options, Brooks may come back to us. That'll be interesting. Ramondre, I'm interested. When David gets back, I want to ask him between Dowdle and Warren, who's he liking, as he is a Steelers fan. I've been more Warren, but I know Dowdle's been getting some steam. And yeah, there goes all those running backs coming off the board. Going to be slim pickings for us. But yeah, looks like Brooks could be our RB2. Tony Pollard, the most unexciting running back, probably coming back around. So I'm just looking at our options here. We come back around. We're probably going to be faced with Jonathan Brooks as RB2.
I mean, if he's there at this point, he's a good option for us.
What do you? The other option could be Rico Dowdle will be there as well. What's your take on the Dowdle versus Warren? I know you're a Steelers fan. I've been a big Warren believer. But Dowdle, when he gets a shot, he produces. I think it's been a little mixed in camp, but yeah, love your take.
So, at this point in his career, Rodgers does not want to get hit. So who's the guy that he trusts?
Yep.
He knows Warren. He doesn't know Dowdle. Mike McCarthy, had Dowdle in Dallas for a couple of years, never really used him. So we try to, take this data that we already know and, kind of push that into 2026. So what do we see? We see a backfield where Kenny Gainwell saw a lot of work as well. So I can see kind of Warren and Dowdle being a 1-2 punch. Who's the one and who's the two? Great question. I think, we got some preseason games coming up, in this weekend, obviously tomorrow, tonight rather. And so we'll start to see some, we'll start to get a little bit, but ultimately I think it could be a hot situation.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, he's a McCarthy guy. He had his first 1,000-yard season with him. So yeah, but I agree with you. Rodgers kind of runs the show and stirs the drink. Yeah. So if he likes Warren's going to get most of the run, especially on third down. And so we're coming up here on the next pick, and you got Tucker Kraft, or if we got running back, we're looking at Dowdle here. It gets real thin. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think Dowdle's solid. I'm definitely overweight on him. He's been a guy that's come to me a lot, and I heavy to running back heavy, but Dowdle seems to sit there and the round 8, round 9, depending on where you're drafting, round 7. Sometimes I see him go, and then trying not to be too much of a homer, but I know they're going to run the heck out of the ball in Pittsburgh.
Yeah. All right, we're going to be coming back around. Yeah, RB2 here. I'll take it given our studs in the receiving room. All right, we're going to be coming back around. I'm not expecting Kraft to make it, but he'd be someone I'd be interested here in the 8th. Bring it up here. Obviously, a lot of receivers. Alec Pierce is still there. Running back wise, we got Chuba, Borum, Dobbins. All right. Okay. I feel like we should go Kraft here. What do you think?
Go for it.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah. Healthy now off the pop. Obviously, we'll see how effective he is coming off that injury. But late in the season, if he's healthy, this is going to be a steal. Yeah, he was so efficient last year.
All very fair questions.
Yeah. Like if, he was low target volume. I mean, obviously the Packers, pace of play is pretty slow, but like he was, not that you can project this completely, but like on pace for like close to 1,500 yards and 15 touchdowns. It was crazy. Like what his pace was last year.
I mean, we do have to remember he's coming off injury.
Yes.
These injuries tend to, take a while to come back from. I know that guys are coming back from Achilles injuries, much faster than previous years. But I mean, an ACL is still an ACL, right? And so we have to remember that, right? It's one thing to say that Daniel Jones isn't going to be able to push the ball down the field because, he's got a gimpy, Achilles that's healing. It's another to ask a guy who, got a surgically repaired ACL to get that fixed and then go out on the field and be a top performer. It's a lot to ask for, to be honest.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, Diggs going in the 8th here. He's making his rise as well since the signing. Michael Wilson, he could be another steal this year. Mahomes, wow, they double tapping quarterback early there. Mahomes seems like he's healthy and going to play week 1.
Yes. It's interesting. I've heard a lot of analysts that are kind of turning on Rashee Rice, which is interesting. Like you get the choice of, Nico, Rice, Olave, Brown at the beginning, and people are saying, you know what? No thanks to Rice. Like there's a few clips that came out recently from camp, and I mean, honestly, his route running looks lazy. He doesn't seem to be very interested in learning the finer points of being a wide receiver. And so, I mean, this isn't a dynasty show, but man, if you're a dynasty owner of Rashee Rice, sell when you can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's, so I track in the Twift platform, kind of the offseason archetype discussions, and he's like top 5 bust discussions that I see. Him, Achane, and Trey McBride are, obviously they're good players, but per their draft cost, likely not going to pan out.
Right. I've got him on one team in Dynasty, and I'm definitely going to be unloading him later this year at the right time.
All right. We're going to be coming back around here. A lot of tight ends. Dobbins could be here. Oh, nope, he's gone. Mason, Gainwell. We could take another. How are you feeling about Gainwell or Mason?
I like Gainwell over Mason for sure. Okay. I have lots of concerns about Bucky.
All right, let's grab it. Yeah, Bucky is one of the more polarizing, and again, another guy who was on the bus, but he's very polarizing. A lot of discussion about him just because of the differential between his 2024 and 2025 season. Super efficient in 2024, like ridiculous. Obviously, that wasn't there in 25. Yep. He was hurt. He had the mental issues. A lot of competition. He didn't get any red zone usage last year, and Tucker. It just seems like, to your point, like Gainwell gets paid. Tucker could get goal line. So yeah, he's a super interesting pick. But likely your typical dead zone running back. Like you don't know what you're going to get.
I mean, I think the thing you always have to think about is it better to take the cheaper guy or the more expensive guy, right? In a 2-man backfield. And I think the answer is usually cheaper.
All right, we're up again. Do we want to grab another QB here or take a Rachaad White? We got to move.
I'd say either a Rachaad White to be fine. It's not PPR, but I would say not a QB yet. We already have Allen.
Yeah. Okay. We'll take Rachaad White. I know you're a bit lower on him than I am. I feel like he's going to take over this backfield. I know there's been some good Bill hype recently too, that he's getting some run in the passing game, which ideally is Rachaad White territory. So we'll see how this pans out. Obviously, he's got the experience, better last year in efficiency. I think, when you look at his metrics, especially his first couple years in Tampa, they weren't great. But he got a lot of touches. We'll see what happens here. I do believe that the Washington offense will have good parts if Jaden Daniels is there all season.
Well, I think since we last did our draft, Laramie Tunsil, is out for the season, or pretty much out, almost out for the entire season with that. I think he tore his pectoral muscle. And so as a result, I think that changes the backfield. I think Chig is now kind of a downgrade, holding him in a little bit more, right? Maybe they're gonna, they're gonna run more 2 tight end sets. Maybe they don't run Chig as much. So I think he actually gets hurt the most. And then, I think they're going to need, a guy to block for Daniels, right? If he's going to be thrown downfield, they need route what they're going to do. But at the same time, I think Rachaad White is kind of, he's a guy that's got a certain skill set, and that is catching passes and blocking for his quarterback. And so that might be a skill set that they need right now.
Great point. All right, we are going to pull up the board here for us, the available players likely as we get here. Debo coming back around, obviously signed with San Francisco. Look, I'm kind of interested in him, where we're picking. Stribling, I'm interested in him as well.
Stribling or Debo, I think they're pretty much, as long as the substation doesn't get them.
Well, Stribling got chosen already. Tyrone Tracy. Interesting. I saw that he got named the co-starter. It's a typical Matt Nagy bullshit. It's just, come on, man. Maybe we got to give Scatabo some time to heal here from his injury. I know he's doing backflips left and right, but it's just, to me,
and
no
not
contest.
Landing them all.
Yeah, true. He's not quite sticking the landing, but to me, it was undeniable last year when they gave Scat the ball. He was on all 3 downs. He was fantastic. It's disappointing to see that news, but if it drops Scat, I'll take him. All right, we're staring down the barrel here. We got Aaron Jones or Debo.
I'll go with Debo.
All right, let's go Debo.
We kind of shying away from Aaron Jones. He's 32 this year. This is obviously a half-point PPR, so I think we lose that advantage in taking him in this type of format.
All right. Do we want to? All right, we got Keaton Mitchell. We could lock up a cup for us if he comes back around. We could double tap.
Go
ahead.
I mean, Mitchell will be fine.
Yeah, so I think to me it's either Mitchell, like he's my top choice, or if we want to grab a Ferguson or Goddard to smooth ourselves out if Kraft isn't ready at the beginning of the season, that would be my Keaton Mitchell's off the board already, so we won't have that opportunity. Aaron Jones is still on the board though. Still, I know we don't like him very much. Woody Marks, Denzel Boston getting a lot of steam too in camp.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone here got your goat?
I mean, Ferg Daddy's fine. Getting a second tight end is wise at some at this juncture. So,
all right, let's go Fergs. Fergalicious, welcome to the club. All right, now we got our weight here as we come back around. I'm gonna pull up. Or we pick again. Looks like we could be like, you're now getting to the again deep into the running back pool. We're getting into like the dart throws here. The Tank Bigsby is interesting to me. Like he obviously is getting some good camp hype as well. He looked good last year when he was on the field, but it seems like It requires Saquon to get hurt. I don't know if the new offensive coordinator, I haven't heard a lot if they're going to plan to, reduce snaps for Saquon. He's 30 years old. Any thoughts on Bigsby at all? Have you been taking him at all in your drafts?
Yeah, a little bit. One of the rankings that I use, they really like him. I think if Saquon goes down, I don't think Bigsby's going to get the pass catching. I just don't think that's his forte. True. But I mean, even if Barkley doesn't, do they want to give him 6 to 8 carries? It's very possible. He looked good in his limited use last year.
Yeah, he looked great.
Even when he was in Jacksonville, he had some decent games, right? I mean, I think he was one of those guys where I was actually surprised that they decided to trade him. Yeah. I always thought there would be, another option for them and go in another direction. But, they obviously they dumped him off of Philly, but yeah, I mean, I'm fine with with Bigsby as this is best ball, right? I mean, this is am I taking him in redraft? No, he's not a very exciting pick. You want to get some guys with upside, and I don't know how much upside he really has, in managed, but I think here in best ball, I think he's definitely a solid pick.
Yep, and we are getting thin at the old QB position as well. Obviously, we're riding high here with Josh Allen. He's probably going to be carrying it week in and week out anyway. But more of a backstop.
I would say correct. Yeah, one guy, just somebody that we can ask him to play one bye week and maybe 1 week where Allen doesn't score 20 points, right?
Yeah. All right. Let me bring up the pool again here. We're gonna be on the clock next. We've got Algier. Interesting. Yeah, Bigsby's gone. Cooper.
What are we looking at QB?
QB, we are Bryce Young, your favorite, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. I mean, at this point, as our backup, so.
All right. Grab Bryce here. He's not on the same bye week, and we're good.
Hey, I mean, we may not pick him here and an underdog, but Darren Waller did just sign with the Panthers.
That's right.
I'll be honest, he's already probably the second or third best option on that team to catch a touchdown. So that possibly could boost Bryce Young up a little bit. I still question his talent, but yes, I definitely think he would be a positive influence on that offense.
All right, as we come back around, if Sharps comes to us, I think we grab him here. To me,
sure,
that end of season upside.
He's gonna play.
Yeah,
earlier than I think all of us expected.
Yep. All right, let's grab him. Charbonnet, welcome to the team. All right, so let's go over the roster real quick here as we wait to come back around. At QB, Josh Allen, followed by Bryce Young, and then Amari Hampton, Rico Dowdle, Kenny Gainwell, Rashad White, Zach Charbonnet. I like how we've made up the difference here at running back. A lot of options to pop in, especially Charbonnet. If he gets stronger through the season, I think his touchdown equity will be high. Wide receiver, CeeDee Lamb, Waddle Moore, Christian Watson. Love that. Deebo Samuel, too. Good value there. And then tight end, Tucker Kraft paired with Jake Ferguson. I'm liking this team. This might be the best team we've drafted so far. Really like these options again. Obviously, we need Allen to stay healthy. That probably makes or break our season here. but that's the way it goes.
That's why taking more. If Allen's down for 3 or 4 weeks, we've just donated $25 to the pool, right? I mean, we're not even getting out of our league.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let's see potential options falling back to us here. Malik Washington, I'm interested in. He seems to be the number one in Miami. Could be some cheap points there. Tank Dell's getting some steam. Jacoby Lane's getting a lot of steam in Ravens camp. I'm sure
all steam. I know. Well, you know what? In Miami, Caleb Douglas getting some steam as well, right? I mean, I just saw an article this morning. he is the number one target for for Willis. So
yeah. Any of these options as we start to get here in the next 4 picks, anything sticking out to you as a grab?
What's how many wide receivers do we have right now?
We are at 2-5. We grab Jacoby.
Yeah, I'm fine with Jacoby.
All right. Yeah, I don't think I have barely any Jacoby, so nice to get a piece of this if he becomes a real deal and not just a camp superstar. But you know, again, like Bateman, if Bateman's the only guy in front of him, there's opportunity there.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why Caleb Douglas says Malik Washington's the only guy in front of him, right? Whereas, Zachariah Branch in Atlanta, you've got 3 really good, pass catchers: Bijan, London, Pitts. These guys he's not passing any of them, right?
All right. Well, as we come back around here, what are we thinking here? Do we want to take a Caleb? Obviously a little bit of a reach, but at this point, I don't think it really matters.
I mean, a Vidal wouldn't be terrible either.
Oh yeah, that's a good grab. I like that. Yeah.
But I mean, if we want to wait on him, we could.
Yeah,
it's hard to say if he'll be there.
Yeah. Let's see, yeah. Let's grab Vidal. I like that pick. I like that call.
Okay.
We'll get ourselves invested in that Chargers offense and back ourselves up. Easy.
I would say, in redraft, taking 2 guys from the same backfield, probably not wise. But taking 2 guys from the same backfield in best ball, really, it's a perfect strategy. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I wouldn't fill 150 teams of BBM with it, but a few of them it's fine.
Yep. We're hedging our our major investment here. All right, so let's look at where we're going to be landing back. All right, we're going to be in that same, likely have a chance if we wanted to grab Caleb coming back around. If someone isn't sharp on him, he'll probably be available for us. Keenan Allen, I know, has been a fan favorite for me. Ted Hurst, I haven't heard a lot about him in camp. I don't know if you've heard any good news on Hurst. I know he's supposed to play the X, but it's been kind of quiet, at least from what I've been reading.
So Jalen McMillan just returned to practice yesterday, and so he was out with a mysterious knee issue. Haven't really heard too much about Hurst other than the fact that he's going to have opportunity there. Really, I think in the tank does Godwin have? And then from there, how does that shake out? Right? Does Egbuka shift over? I mean, part of why Egbuka struggled last year is that when Evans went down, Egbuka was asked to move over to Evans' role, and that's really not his area of expertise. We're talking about a young guy, a rookie, right? He just wasn't ready to take on that role. So if Godwin goes down, is Egbuka able to shift over there? Can they move, McMillions and as I like to call him, and Hurst around? I think that's why they took him, right? I think they see Godwin's, the light at the end is the end of the tunnel for Godwin's career, and he's been
and
but I mean, that was a catastrophic knee injury he had, nearly 2 years ago.
Yeah. Well, and like people need to not forget Tez Johnson was a thing too. So like he's also there.
Yep. Very true. He'll get some snaps, right? Yep.
All right. So we're 3 picks away. We're staring down a Sean Tucker, a Booty, Keenan Allen, Caleb Douglas. Should we pull the trigger on Douglas? I don't think I've taken any of him.
We give us a couple rookies because we already have Lane. Just always want to be careful about too many rookies. In some ways, it might be better to grab like a veteran who is not as sexy, not as exciting.
How about Ridley? Any thoughts on him?
Sure.
All right, let's give him a go. Yeah, not obviously Carnell Tate's the guy now. He's gotten a lot of Hype seems like they've got the connection. You got Wandale there. Really seems to be the forgotten option, but he's been a target earner. I know he was banged up, does stupid things from time to time, but
yeah.
But let's see how this works out. I like it. All right, we're gonna be
I have a
coming
little
back
bit
around.
of him, right? I mean, I'm underweight on him, but I have a little bit of him too, for sure.
Yep. All right, so we've got 2 tight ends. We've got our 7 receivers, 6 running backs, 2 QBs. Anyone we want to grab here? 2 is here if we wanted to grab another QB.
Late right around tight end, but we already have 2. I mean, we could also go with another running back if we want another kind of a flyer.
Okay.
Like Claiborne if he's there.
Yep, let's do it. Oh, too late. Keenan Allen, welcome to the team. All right.
All good.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, he's probably going to sign with the Colts, right? I mean, Pierce got some not so great news, memes and some funny pictures of Alec Pierce.
Yeah, did he or did he not get the injection?
Like he was getting, but he got platelets. He didn't get platelets. Like, nobody knows what the hell's going on. I mean, this is coming from the team as well.
I know.
He was filmed, limping as one guy, who had kind of seen him. I mean, if you're limping and it is August 14th and you're limping, right? I'm concerned about you being able to play.
Yeah, 100%.
And only concerned.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. Like he's someone, I don't really think I have very much Pierce at all. Obviously he's getting cheaper and cheaper by the day. And yeah, Keenan Allen, when he plays, he gets targets. All right, so this draft just ended here. Recap where we landed. We took CeeDee Lamb with our first pick, then Hampton, then Waddle, Josh Allen, one of our Allens, here in the 4th round. And then we stacked him with DJ Moore. We grabbed Christian Watson, who's been a darling of the analyst community through this whole draft season. Rico Dowdle as our RB2. We grabbed Tucker Kraft and his upside here as our lead tight end in round 8 here. And then Kenny Gainwell, Rashad White, to try to fill out our backfield a little bit further. Debo with some great value here in round 11. Took Fergalicious here in round 12. Bryce Young as our bye week fill-in for Josh Allen. Sharbs as our playoff darling, hopefully. Jacoby Lane, just inhaling the camp fumes right now from Jacoby Lane. And then we backstopped Hampton here with Vidal. And then we ended with our vets. We got a veteran presence here in the locker room with Ridley and Allen to really give us the good vibes going into this tournament. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, honestly, having some vets at the end, kind of gives you that stability just in case something happens where you need 6, 8, 10 points one week. Believe me, those weeks do matter from time to time.
Yep. Well, I like I said earlier, I think I like this 9 spot better than the one we did the first time when we double tapped RBs. Love the strength of this. I love getting Allen in the 4th. That's really strong. So another excellent draft, David. Love chatting with you. Love hearing your takes. Love breaking things down. And we're getting close. The season is upon us, like you mentioned earlier. We got preseason games, more intel coming at us. And excited to see how things change. And like we were talking earlier too, before the show started recording, getting into our own drafts with our buddies and getting into that full fantasy football season. So anything from you, David, here as we close it out?
No, I think that's good. I'm excited for the games this weekend. We start to get some real news, right? This is where we'll really start to see who's injured, who's not, what the coaches really think, because they can say whatever they want. Like Mike McDaniel saying, sorry, fantasy football guys, I'm going to ride the hot hand. We're going to start to really see if he means it. And this is, hey, and honestly, even though the starters are going to play, 10, 20 snaps, depending on the team, it's a great time of the football season. As we are all excited, we all feel like we have a chance to win as a fan. But for fantasy, then we're focused on the news, the snaps, etc. This is a good time.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks again, David, for joining me and being a part of this. It's been so much fun. Love doing these drafts as a fellow DGen, and everyone who's been tuning in. Appreciate you all getting us off the ground here as we've started this channel and being a part of TWIF. As always, come and join us. We've got free draft tools. We've got in-season management tools that are going to blow you away. And if you want to get all of the expert intel in the palm of your hands, paired with player analytics, there's no better place than at theweekendfantasy.com. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll see you next time.